Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Marketing for Learning podcast. It's Hannah here with you today, and I'm going a bit off-piste. Not that you'd know that, so I don't know why I'm telling you that, but this is not the episode I had planned for Friday, the 21st of June, 2024. But I am coming to you hot off the back of winning Awareness Campaign of the Year at the British Training Awards. And not only are we so proud that we won the award and we created a phenomenal campaign with our clients at Capgemini University, we are so buzzing. It's the only word I can use, buzzing, that marketing is getting the recognition that it needs in learning and development circles. Marketing has been recognised enough that it's an award category at a learning awards. That's just phenomenal, because marketing isn't a nice to have. If you want real impact with your learning, you have to be thinking about marketing. But I'm sure you know that because you're listening to this podcast. So I don't want to spend this whole episode just talking about the fact we won, although that nice new shiny award behind me definitely makes me very happy. I want to talk to you about why this campaign was so impactful, and give you 3 top tips that you can borrow and think about in your next initiative to make your campaign just as successful. So let's get into it. So just a quick overview on the campaign. It was about Gen AI and it was rolling out to all of Capgemini's employees. So that's over 340,000 people. It was a big task. And we set an objective for 3 months. It's now been 6 months since we launched the campaign. We almost doubled our 3-month objective in the 3 months. And now we have done it 7.3 times over. We have made huge impact with this campaign. So why did it work so well? Well, the first reason I think this campaign worked so well was that marketing was a non-negotiable. With topics like generative AI, it feels like everybody's interested, everybody's excited. But I'm sorry to break it to you, that's not the case. I know we're all talking about it in learning, and there's other industries that have gone AI crazy. But some people don't care, they're not interested, maybe they're feeling really overwhelmed by it, maybe they're scared that the robots are going to come take their jobs. So this team, the team at Capgemini University, knew that it wasn't good enough just to be like, hey, we got a shiny new learning intervention on this really interesting topic. They knew they had to win everybody over. So marketing was a non-negotiable, which meant from the outset, from the very start of developing this initiative, and it was a really complex initiative, marketing was involved. We were championing the audience's voice. We were saying, well, actually, yeah, some people are really excited, but actually some people are terrified. What are we going to do about them? We were there being the audience advocates. That made a phenomenal amount of difference, not just on the project itself, but on how we communicated it. It also made a really big difference on buy-in. The team, the entire project team was so bought in that marketing should be there, deserved to be there, had a place there, and was critically important to achieving our goals. So that was the first thing that I think set this campaign apart from many others I see run. It's that everybody, every single person was bought into the fact that marketing had to be included. It had to be there. It had to be done. That doesn't mean that marketing was any more or less important than any other aspects. I say this to people on the masterclass all the time. We cannot outmarket a bad learning experience. If the incredible team at Capgemini did not create such an incredible learning experience with so many partners and different aspects and different perspectives, we could have done the best campaign in the world and it would have fallen short because people wouldn't have had the experience they expected when they landed on the learning experience. So us being involved did not detract from the phenomenal work that the rest of the team were doing. but it made sure that the audience saw that phenomenal work, that they were excited about going to a learning experience. And that's not something that many L&D teams can say, that people were excited about getting involved. So that's what this campaign did. It got people excited. And the way we did that was by making sure everybody was bought in and that marketing was included from day dot. Not after the intervention was created. Oh, we need to promote this now. From the very, very start, marketing was involved in the conversation. The next thing that I think set this campaign apart and helped us, as I said, achieve our goal way sooner than we ever expected and do way more than we could ever have dreamed of, was that we really, really thought about our learner personas. Capgemini are quite a long-standing client of MASS, so they have personas. So we utilised what already existed. Remember, you don't create personas on a per project or per program basis. You have personas of your audience. So we really dug into that. We thought about their audience personas and how that person might be feeling about these changes and about this new learning experience. And we dug right in. And you know what? Some of the conversations we were like, but do they really feel like that? I don't feel like that. Do you feel like that? So we did some extra research and they did feel like that. We really empathised with our audience. We put ourselves in their shoes. We come up with some hypotheses and then we tested them. That meant that our communications and the marketing we put out there really resonated with each persona. That meant those that were hyper enthusiastic about AI, I think we all know somebody in our lives that's hyper enthusiastic about AI, that they were still catered for, that we weren't forgetting about them, but that we brought everybody else along with for the journey too. And I think that's what really set it apart. We really, really championed the audience. That again says a lot about the team we were working with. And I do think that above the 3 tips I'm giving you today, the team made the world of difference because they were so bought into why we were doing this. But we put the audience needs above our own thoughts and opinions, above our own assumptions. And once we established what we needed to do to meet the business goal, then the audience needs came first. They were paramount. Nothing topped the audience's needs. And that really set this campaign apart. And it came across in the marketing that was the output at the end of it. It came across and it made so much sense to each and every persona because we'd thought about them deeply, not just like surface level. We really thought about how this intervention would make them feel today, but also impact them in 3, 6, 9 months, a year, 2 years. We thought about that longevity. We thought about that journey they're going to be going on. We genuinely, I would say, the project team were audience advocates. That made the world of difference. And the last tip I want to give you that I think you can all borrow and use in your interventions is that this was not a launch campaign. As much as we won Awareness Campaign of the Year, this wasn't just an awareness campaign. This was an awareness, interest, desire, action campaign. We were pushing people through the funnel. We were making them want to get involved long term. So that meant our marketing, our strategy, our plan was long term. The team are still implementing the plan that we devised back in October. It wasn't a 1 month thing. It wasn't a few weeks. We wasn't just generating hype and then disappearing. It was consistent communications over a long period of time. That means they are still getting a lot of new users right now because we are still convincing people. We are still winning people over. If this was just a flash in the pan, we probably wouldn't have hit our 3-month target, if I'm being completely honest. If we did not have the longevity of the consistent communications, the difference, the diversity of the communications we were using, the long-term planning, we wouldn't have got anywhere near where we are today. And this campaign isn't over. They are still running it. It's still a priority. There is still marketing going out for it. And of course, the learning is still being updated. There is still new things coming in. There's new things for our audience to get involved with. And everyone is still thinking with that marketing and product mindset. This is our product. How can we make people want to buy it? No, they're not giving us money because it's an internal learning solution. But they're giving us their time. And I've said it more than once on this podcast. If someone's giving you their time, in today's day and age, that's more valuable than money. People have so many options about what they can do with their time. If they're giving it to you, that's a privilege. So I think the third thing that made this campaign so impactful is that we didn't just think of it as a launch campaign. We didn't just think of it as, oh, we're launching in October, so we need maybe a month before and a month after, and that will be it. No. We spoke about it in the lead up to, it launched, and we're still talking about it now. We're still raising that awareness. Remember, there's a reason why the likes of Apple, Coca-Cola, Google, trying to think of other brands. Clearly, they're my three favourites. But there's a reason why these huge companies market day in, day out. They advertise, they spend huge budgets on it. It's not good enough to say, hey, we told people. You need to keep telling them. So that longevity piece is what really set this campaign apart. It's what helped it win that award. And it's something that you guys can absolutely do in your organisations. So there you have it. The three things that I think made our awareness campaign with Capgemini award-winning. I'm still on cloud nine, like I said. But I think all of you can do this. If you're thinking about your marketing initiatives, you're thinking about your upcoming learning initiative launches, you can integrate these three things. You can get everybody on board and get marketing spoken about from the first day. It's not an afterthought. It's not something you do at the end of creating the intervention. It needs to be involved up front. Make sure that that's being spoken about in your organisations. You can create learner personas and be your audience advocates. You should be. If you've been listening to this podcast for any amount of time, I'll be disappointed if you haven't tried creating your personas yet. And just for you, I will link our personas guide in the show notes. And lastly, we can all think longer term. I would love to get to a point that I know every L&D team has a 12-month marketing strategy that has different campaigns in it and different red threads running through it to keep our audience engaged time and time again. And for big initiatives like this one was for Capgemini, maybe that is a 6-month campaign, a 9-month campaign. Who knows, it might even go on for a year. We need to be thinking long term and consistently communicating to our audiences. So thank you so much for listening to me today. I hope it's given you some food for thought. I just want a quick shout out to the team at Capgemini because it was a joint award. We could do the marketing, but we couldn't do it without their buy-in, their enthusiasm, their marketing thinking, and the phenomenal team that created the amazing learning intervention. So it was a perfect collaboration between two companies, and it worked incredibly well. If you have any questions about the award win, about anything I've said today, please do drop me a message on LinkedIn. For those of you that don't know, Ashley's off on maternity leave now, so I'm on my own. I love a chit chat, so if you want to talk to me, drop me a message. More than happy to have a chat with you about that. And if not, I will see you next Friday for the next episode of the Marketing for Learning podcast. See you later, guys.